Yeah. Listen to Tea Time with Honey Pecan. Beeline for the nectar, now we're gonna refine. Pure gold to the brain, no you cannot deny. Nutrition for the mind that will open up your eyes. Listen to Tea Time with Honey Pecan. Beeline for the nectar, now we're gonna refine. Pure gold to the brain, no you cannot deny. Nutrition for the mind that will open up your eyes, yeah. Welcome to Tea Time.
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for joining us once again on another episode of Tea Time with Honey. It's just me and Chris here today because Omar sucks. Sorry, Omar. You do.
Well, he gets busy.
Yeah, boy.
He gets busy. I think his lady gets on him sometimes about hanging out on the podcast late at night. This is only 8, 9 o'clock, so not late, but I get it, I guess.
That's kind of late.
Oh, the look my wife gave me when she realized I was doing a podcast this evening, just a few moments ago in the living room. Just, you're doing a podcast? Yes. Fuck. And here I am.
Yep, no, I went out to my boyfriend's car because he's asleep right now and has to wake up at 4 in the morning for work.
Oh.
Fun shit. Okay, so our first topic for tonight, we're going to talk about how the government sent $1.4 billion out of the $2 trillion fucking stimulus check package to deceased Americans. What the fuck is that shit? Like, okay, I'm sorry, but isn't there like a fucking record on the people's social securities, their social security accounts, stating that they're fucking deceased?
I thought that was like government business anyway. Like, if you passed away, there has to be like a whole certificate, and that has to be signed off on by the.
There is. That's a thing.
Yeah. So I mean, the fact that they would send out that much money to people that are obviously fucking dead seems a little. Well, seems stupid. And I mean,
dude. Okay.
Is it because the government can't keep up with the certifications or the death certificates when it comes to the whole COVID-19 thing with people dying so quickly?
Honestly, it shouldn't even fucking matter. They should have those records, and these were checks that they sent out in fucking March, April. This was all just before the COVID-19 issue got really fucking bad. This was just at the beginning of the fucking quarantine. So, all of these, over 1 million Americans who got fucking stimulus checks that are deceased, all of their families got these checks. And the government's like, oh, nope, you guys aren't allowed to touch that, even though it's for your family member that died. So, could you just send it back to us? Like, why the fuck would you even fucking do that? That's just a slap in the fucking face. Oh, here's a reminder that your loved one is fucking dead.
Here's $1,200 for the dead, now please return it. Yeah.
Exactly. What the fuck is the point of that?
I mean, I've never been...
Also, when the fuck...
Oh, go ahead.
When the fuck are we getting the second check? Because, like, I check this shit every day, right? And the government is still... It's taken twice as long for the government to decide whether or not we're worthy to get a second check. Knowing that millions of people are out of jobs and have been out of jobs since the beginning of the quarantine.
I don't think
knowing that these people cannot survive on the single $1,200 check that they sent over 2 months ago.
I don't think it's so much about whether or not we're worthy. I think this goes to exactly what we were discussing shortly before everything began. You know, all that fantastic material that we dumped before we even started the podcast. I think it goes back to bipartisan headbutting. The fact that you get a stimulus package that the Democrats pass in the House, and then they pass it on to the Senate, which is Republican-controlled right now, and the Republicans say, fuck no, this is what we want to do, so they pass their shit in the Senate, and it gets passed back to the House, and the Democrats say, well, we don't like what you want to do, so we're not going to do that, we're going to do this again. And it just
Yep.
goes back and forth. And when it comes right
It's just
down
one
to it,
vicious fucking cycle.
well, it's our politicians basically sitting there and butting heads over bipartisan politics instead of actually doing what the American the American people need. You know, they're not thinking about us. They're thinking about their status quo and making their party look good. It doesn't really matter whether or not they're actually doing any good for us. They just want to make the Dems look good. The Republicans want to make the Republicans look good, and fuck it if you happen to kind of be caught in the middle of that and poor and starving.
Exactly. It's fucked up, dude. Like, why? Hang on.
Okay.
I've got background noise and shit.
Background noise happens. We don't have soundproofed studios, and we're in separate spaces, and you're in a car. Oh, are you going to roll up the window in your car and basically bake yourself? Good luck with that. Okay.
Give myself cancer fishbowling this shit.
Okay. So anyway.
But no, it's like, it's fucked up. Why is it taking them twice as long to decide whether or not we deserve to get fucking stimulus checks? Like, granted, yes, I'm still working. I'm one of the lucky few. You, me, and Omar, like, we're a few of the lucky few that are still working from home. I've got tons of friends who are out of jobs, who have been looking for jobs, who are trying to fucking start working again, but it's all under unsafe conditions. Nobody's getting any fucking hazard pay.
Yep. And you've been watching the news, correct? All the areas that are reopening hardcore, sending people out to the beaches, they're opening up their restaurants, all these other wonderful things, and we're getting record high.
Slowing down testing is going to stop the virus altogether. Because if there aren't any tests, there can't be any new cases, right?
That's about what it is, I believe. Well, the lack of evidence is equal to the lack of having to admit that anything's going on. Yeah?
Dude, this fucking... Oh, God. This government just gives me cancer.
I think it's giving everybody cancer right now, which is beneficial to them because, you know, they have high stakes in the pharmaceutical industry. We all get cancer, they get paid, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Shit,
man, can't get paid if you don't get anyone healthy, or if you get everyone healthy, you can't get paid.
But that's the one. At this particular juncture in my life, I am dead in the middle of this whole thing. I'm on that part of the fence right here in the middle, where I'm like, fuck the Republicans, fuck the Democrats, fuck the ass clown who's currently president, because oh my god, he is a joke.
Yep.
And pretty much fuck anybody that thinks that we have to continue this country doing solely bipartisan politics. The fact that this country's been divided down the middle, families have been divided down the middle because, oh no, fuck you, you're a Republican. No, fuck you, you're a Democrat. No, fuck you, you guys are all fucking Americans and stop it.
Exactly, dude. Fucking like, oh my god, I don't even know where to like go from here, man. Like, I'm working my main job at the newspaper, but like it's not enough. This is why I have the tattooing job, and I can't tattoo right now because it's still really unsafe. And everyone and their grandmother has been hitting me up like, Nikki, when are you gonna start tattooing again? And it's like, dude, what? Like, you can't be this fucking stupid. I love my friends, but they're fucking stupid. Stop asking me when I'm gonna start tattooing again.
Well,
it's not like the virus is going away anytime soon. We don't have treatments for it. We don't have a fucking vaccine for it. We don't have any kind of protection against it.
Nope, it's just sort of luck of the draw. You go out there, and if you survive it, fantastic. You don't, well, you're just another check mark.
Sucks to suck.
You know? Oh, look, that one died. That's pretty much it. That's all you are right now. You're a statistic.
Yeah, exactly. It sucks to suck, dude.
Well, that's a problem. I listen to these briefings, these things that the president has pretty much daily, and you, me, the person next to you, my family in the other room, we are literally a check mark in a box for them right now. Are you alive right now, or do you have the coronavirus and might die? All right, we have the survivors, and we have the people that died from the thing. That's all they care about. It's numbers right now, and you are a number. You are a statistic to them, and the worse the statistics look right now in one area, the better one party looks, and the better that it looks in the other area, the better the other party looks. You know, and they don't even care about the statistics. It's they care how those statistics make them look and how they can spin it to make it look like the other person was at fault.
Exactly. Fucking this whole slowing down testing to stop the virus. It's a child's mentality. How do you have some of the best doctors in the world? How do you have fucking all the resources in the world and you're still this fucking stupid? God damn.
Well, I got the goddamn part, and then you completely cut out. Your audio went. I didn't hear you.
Fucking motorcycles!
Oh, it cut out probably because of the sound of the motorcycles. Like, I don't know what that was. Yep. Okay. Well, guess what? The motorcycles did not come over the mic, so we didn't hear them at all. I think that might also be in part because you're no longer wearing that headpiece. I saw you take it out. It died, right?
Yep, they died.
But yeah, you can boil a lot of the shit that's going on right now. The stalemating on the stimulus checks. You know, the whole Black Lives Matter movement has become bipartisan politics right now. You know, it's the problem is that this country has, and I'm not talking about what's going on with the government in general. It's the general American people. We have been brainwashed into believing that that's all there is. You are either black or you are white. You are a Democrat or you are a Republican. You are pro-abortion, you are anti-abortion. There is no gray area as far as bipartisan politics is concerned. And you are either on the side of wrong or you are on the side of right. And the problem is that idea of wrong or right changes dependent upon who you're supposed to be behind. And so...
Exactly. And it's fucked up, dude. Like,
they don't allow for a gray area. They don't allow for you to say, yeah, I get that you're anti-abortion, but... And as far as they're concerned, there's no but. It's you're anti-abortion. All right? So, as far as you're concerned... You're anti-abortion, so you're for women having to carry babies that even if they've been raped, you know, stuff like that. Or you're I'm sorry, I said for, didn't I? You're anti-abortion. So if you're for abortion, then you're a baby killer. And so it's always taking that negative. It's not taking into anything else and any account for anything. It's like, hey, if you're pro death penalty or you're against the death penalty, no matter which way you try to sit here and say this is my opinion, the other person from the other side is looking at you going, well, your opinion's fucked up and this is why you're a piece of shit. And that's because that's how the government wants us. They want us split down the middle and divided because, as you saw with the Black Lives Matter movement here, if we all get united behind one fucking thing, we might accomplish something. And then what happens when we have to accomplish something? It becomes a police state and they send people out to crack heads.
Yep. Fucking motorcycles.
But yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Yes.
Now that that's passed.
That motorcycle I heard.
I lost my train of thought. Goddamn motorcycles!
I think we were starting to talk about stimulus checks. And then we ended up talking about bipartisan politics, slid into the Black Lives Matter movement. It's just all over the place.
It's just, that's fine. Whatever, man. Just go with the flow.
Well, I mean, throw a rock at a web page right now and you're going to find some shit going down. Really.
Yeah. So, like, I've been cutting off a lot of my family over politics, and I don't fucking feel bad about it at all. So, like, I was talking to my uncle about the whole, like, noose at Bubba Wallace's garage door at NASCAR.
Okay.
Fucking, like, we got into a small debate, and I admitted that he proved me wrong. It was proven that...
Proven that what?
It's proven that it wasn't a noose, it was just a rope to pull down the garage door.
And they had tied it into a handle.
Yeah. My uncle's like, it's fine, I love you, this and that, we can all get along, and I tried explaining to him, we can't all get along. It's not just that simple. I've been cutting off a lot of my dad's family, and I really don't feel bad about it because they were never really a part of my life anyway. But, like, I've been cutting off a whole bunch of my dad's family. I'm on the verge of cutting off my mother altogether because she keeps posting a whole bunch of transphobic bullshit, and it's just blatant disrespect to my brother, and I keep calling her out. My uncle's trying to just, like, brush it off like it doesn't mean anything. It's like, dude, you can't just brush shit off like this anymore. Like, I don't care if we're related. I don't care if we're family. You need to be more conscious about who you are as a person and where you're placing your moral compass.
Right. So, I just want to say, I read one of the articles in regards to the Bubba Wallace thing. I don't mean to backtrack a little bit there. You brought it up, and I wanted to say something. So
dude, go for it.
As of this morning, Wall Street Journal posted an article, Bubba Wallace, a noose, and how a racist symbol hung at Talladega for months. Apparently that thing, that pull string that they tied into a handle, basically, has been sitting there since October. And this is now, I don't like to be behind Trump in anything. I really don't. But when I really think about it, when I see a news article like this, and then I see another news article that basically debunks this news article, and the sensationalism that they have when it comes to national and local news now, where it's more important to have some kind of strong, compelling news story, no matter how false that news story might be. We're going to take this little tidbit, and we're going to spin it so that we can make everybody go, whoa, what the fuck, I need to watch that. And at certain points, the truth becomes buried.
Yeah.
And I'm going, and then. I'm starting to sound like that drive-through during, dude, where's my car? But, no,
like my 6-year-old. And you know what? And you know what? And you know what? And guess what? And then this happened. And then
Tiny Toons. Is it Tiny Toons or Animaniacs that has that little guy that kind of and then and just kind of goes in this whole speech and then runs away. Fuck. Anyway, lost my train of thought for a minute there. But they're making it so that you don't know what to believe anymore, and that's not good. I mean, it really isn't good. I don't believe a lot of news sources right now. And it has nothing to do with Trump. It has everything to do with them. Everybody's reporting on the same story, but everybody's got their sensationalistic spin to what that story happens to be. And, not for nothing, the media needs to be a little bit better, because if Trump can call you out for being a liar about a story about him, and you're just standing there going, well, see, now you're not telling the truth. You took that little thing, you spun it into this, and you weren't telling the whole truth. You were telling half the truth. It's like, well, the thing is that he was still a jackass for saying it. You just decided to cut out that one little piece of jackassery and forget about the stuff that he was talking beforehand. And so he can debunk you because you didn't talk about the whole thing. You just decided to focus on one little bit.
It's like, oh my god, if you can get called out by Trump, you're fucking up, like, hard.
He does it constantly.
The king of pathological lying.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, watch TV right now. Watch your local news. There's a lot of kings of pathological lying. He just happens to be a little bit more deplorable than most of the ones that are shinier. You know? A lot of our politicians suck outright. A lot of our local media.
Let's take a first break. Hit that sponsor button.
Oh, I'll go ahead and talk.
Noise.
I'm going to talk for you for a minute because you are cutting out left and right. I can't hear anything you're saying.
Yeah, let's go on break.
Yes, we're going to go on a little break here. That's what Miss B's trying to say, even though it sounds like she's hiccuping with her phone. We're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back for the second half of the cast, and hopefully we can hear what Miss B's saying.
Hello, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in and sticking around during our sponsor and fucking advertisements and shit.
And that momentary blip where we couldn't hear you.
Yeah, my headphones died, my phone was glitching. I don't know, the rainstorm yesterday kind of fucked up my service, and the past couple of days, I'm pretty sure it's that fucking COVID-19 update on our phones that's been fucking up everyone's service.
Right, I mean, I've had like 3 bars at most since then, and I used to be in a 5-bar area.
Same.
So, my service has gone way downhill. Makes me want to reach out to AT&T and just be like, if I've only got 3 bars, do I only have to pay, 3/5 of my bill?
Yep.
You know?
So, during this half of the podcast, we're going to talk about my family and how they keep fucking up and keep just giving me reasons to cut them out of my life.
We have several podcasts that we've talked about your family on.
Yep. My family is just spectacular.
I've only got one racist mama story, and I've already told it. So, I mean, I'm done. I'm out. It's your turn.
Fucking, so, like, my aunt posted this thing, what was it, yesterday or the day before, talking about a Black Lives Matter activist that posted on Twitter saying that they believe the European depictions of white Jesus, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed man, that everyone is so used to seeing on every representation, needs to be taken down and properly depicted.
First thing I want to say here before you continue is this is called the check yourself moment. If you are a white woman and you are about to make any kind of judgment or pass any kind of judgment on a Black Lives Matter activist, the first thing you need to do is check your mirror for pigmentation. If you're white, sit down, shut up.
Thank you. Dude, seriously, like, fucking, her comments was saying, is this what Black Lives Matter is all about now? What is it coming to? When is it going to end? This and that, blah, 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 blah. Life is so fucking hard.
I kind of don't agree with that. Just because I got this really strong feeling. We're a country that is basically founded on murderous white Protestants, people that came over from their country because their religion was far too extreme for the people in their home country to really want to deal with. And they came over here because they wanted to start a new life that didn't have any persecution. Basically, you were bigoted assholes who would murder anything in your way to get your point across. And nobody wanted to tolerate you, so we don't want to be persecuted for being murderous assholes, so let's move over here to the new America. Yeah, good people. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, right?
You were saying.
So, hang on, let me pull up this thread. So, my aunt's like, she's asking when this is going to end, when, life is so fucking hard, boo-hoo. I'm like, well, geographically and historically speaking, the guy's not wrong. Jesus' parents were born in fucking Bethlehem and Nazareth. And Jesus was born in fucking Jerusalem. So, he's not going to be this blonde-haired, blue-eyed white man. It's obvious. And one of my aunt's friends was like, do you not take in consideration the historical and geographic significance of those who made those pieces of art? And it's like, why would you try to recreate a historical figure in your own race, knowing that that's not who they were. So my comment was, I do, and none of them took into consideration where Jesus was from and just simply decided that he was white. And this lady, I'm assuming, said Da Vinci, was there a lot of travel there? Again, not taking into consideration that you don't need to travel to use basic common knowledge knowing that Jesus wasn't a white man. My aunt decided to respond finally, saying, Nicole, you know this perfectly well that you're condoning his rhetoric. I don't go for that. I can put up with a lot, but I draw the line here. You're going to draw the line at white Jesus? Okay. That's fine with me. Whatever, man. I don't give a shit. She said this bullshit needs to end. Now they want to tear down Lincoln statues. Why? He freed the slaves. It's all about control now. Mind you, Lincoln still owned slaves up until Juneteenth when they were all freed. He still owned fucking slaves, regardless of whether or not he freed them. He still owned fucking slaves. And the statue that people want taken down of Lincoln is a statue of him putting his hand on a slave's head who's kneeling down in front of him like he's some kind of fucking god. Like, it's so condescending. There's so much better ways of depicting Lincoln freeing the slaves. Like, you could have him standing with them hand in hand as equals. Why wasn't it depicted as that? So she goes on to say, you're being used if you believe in all this Black Lives Matter bullshit. They have one goal, control. You know it. They don't hide it. They openly speak about it. They want zero police. They've admitted it. Who's your mom going to call if someone breaks in and wants to hurt her or Winter? Mind you, she spelled my daughter's name wrong. It's the normal spelling of Winter, and she's known this for the past 7 years.
This is a relative,
so
too.
She's like, who you going to call? A social worker? Ask why Black Lives Matter isn't in Chicago. Mind you, they are in Chicago. Don't fucking try me with that shit. They're not really working on black issues. Instead, they're stoking the racial flames in this country. My response was, it's not that they want zero police. They want complete reform and proper training for police. Are you aware that it takes longer to become a hairdresser than it takes to become a cop? Or that police departments are graduating their trainees over 5 weeks early because police are understaffed and now they're even more undertrained and more dangerous. And by the way, the Lawrence Police Department, my city, stood and protested with Black Lives Matter. You guys, I told her she can cut me off over this if she wants, but that just shows me that she stands with the racist agenda that's been working against these people since the dawn of time.
Why doesn't...
Her response...
Sorry,
go ahead.
My apologies. My wife applied to work for the police department down in Georgia. She wanted to actually work in the dispatch department. She didn't actually want to be like a patrol cop or anything like that. She wanted to work in dispatch, but to work in dispatch, you have to become a full-fledged police officer. She was surprised to learn that even though she had taken almost 3.5 years worth of criminal justice, none of it was needed. You could the only difference between you having a 4-year degree in criminal justice and you going in entry level was about $1,000 over a year's time. It was basically $1,000 bump in pay over a year. So it was so trivial an amount that you would get extra to be educated that it was pretty much pointless. Why educate yourself for 4 years, spend that kind of money if you're only going to get an extra $1,000 in pay as a police officer? So she said, fuck it. She went and she applied to be a police officer. She would have become a police officer except for she has slightly wide feet. So she could never get the footholds on the fence to be able to climb the 15-foot fence. So she would run her heart out to the point where she almost puked twice. And she did their whole thing. You run the heart out. You got to go and duck behind a police car, duck under something, go up the stairs with a dummy over your shoulder, go down the stairs with the dummy over your shoulders, and then go and try to run and hit the fence. And she did that like 3 times. And after the 3rd time, when she couldn't make the fence because of the wide feet, she just decided she was done.
Oh my god. Actually, I'm pretty sure that Max worked in dispatch. I can't remember exactly, but it took a massive toll on her mental health. Fucking working for the police department out in Texas. But yeah, back to the
subject.
story.
Yes.
So now it's like, that's not true. I've seen them say that they just want no police, and not only that, they've said that their goal is to remove Trump. Why isn't their goal to better the lives of black people? You're being played, and if you do the research, the money they get goes right to the Democratic Party, which is, again, not true. The money that they get, which, by the way, isn't that much.
Right.
The money that they do get goes towards charities, goes towards their communities, and shit that their communities need. Fucking education, fucking programs to help their children. Programs to help people who are just out of fucking prison that have no fucking chance at other decent jobs. So, my response was, what's the problem with removing Trump? It's very well known that removing Trump from office would be better for the lives of literally everybody in the country. You know, except for rich people. This guy is an admitted rapist, racist, misogynistic, bigoted piece of garbage, and I told her that I was done with this and to enjoy her racism and bigotry, and I deleted her from Facebook, I blocked her on Messenger. I didn't block her Facebook. So she decided to go follow my fucking page after I deleted her, and then sent her daughter to add me on Facebook, and then went asking my family for my phone number so that she could talk to me. And I'm like, I don't want to have a conversation with you about this. I'm not going to argue with you about your racism. This is a conversation that I don't need to continue. I don't want to. I'm done with it. And just because you're related to me doesn't mean that I have to keep up with this conversation. Bro, like, you haven't been a part of my life in fucking over 20 years. It's like, I don't give a shit.
You gotta love that. It's like you're not gonna listen to me, or you're done talking to me because I'm a a bigoted asshole who's got my head stuck up my butt. So I'm gonna go ahead and send somebody else after you. And I don't even understand why this person would ignore you for so long, and then just to try to pick up somebody else's fight just to fight with you over stupid things. This is what I'm talking about with.
Seriously, my cousin, like, I added her on Facebook years ago. I tried reaching out to her. You know, I said, hi, how are you? I hope all is well. You know, I wished her well in her, like, college adventures, because she's going to college in Boston now, and, like, I'm really proud of her. But she never responded. She never accepted my request. Nothing. It was like I didn't fucking exist. And then all of a sudden, just because I call your mom a racist, you want to fucking hit me up? Yeah, no, I'm good.
It's like we, as Americans in general, have lost all manner of self-respect. Like, we have decided to allow partisan politics to reduce us to the level of bickering children, no matter how fucking old we are. It's just,
yep.
I don't have respect for you. You don't have respect for me. I barely have any respect for myself. So let me see. What are my Republican brethren telling me to believe today? Oh, I believe that now? Thank you. Sorry, earlier you were talking about religion and you were talking about Jesus not being a white man. Well, that's obvious. It's very obvious that the Roman Catholic Church whitewashed the entirety of that religion, and they basically turned it into something that was more acceptable to them, because a man from Jerusalem, a man from that native country, to have a man of that color be the basis of their religion was unacceptable to them. They could not sit here and base a religion off of somebody of color. So they had to whitewash the religion to make it acceptable to the people that they were trying to pass that religion off to.
Because to them, people of color were dirty.
But it's no coincidence that the entire religion is based around the idea of Jesus and his flock of sheep. Seriously. Fucking, I called my mom a sheep, and she was like, I am a sheep, and Jesus is my shepherd. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Oh, no, I forget that. I would have said, exactly. You're a sheep, and as sheep are depicted, they are mindless creatures that follow the thing that beats them into line. Basically.
Exactly. Fucking...
You poke and prod them with a stick, and they move along. And you just get to be the mindless sheep, and you don't have to make any decisions for yourself, because Jesus makes the decisions for me, doesn't he?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly my mother to a T. So I keep getting into these debates with my mother over whether or not she's being transphobic, and she knows she is, and she's like, phobia means having a fear or severe hatred of, and that's not me. And I'm like, okay, but everything that you're sharing is a complete and utter contradiction to what you're saying. So I don't want to fucking hear it. The last thing that she shared that like really set me off, and my brother sent me a screenshot of it, was this article. One second, let me pull it up.
Okay.
Ba, 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 ba.
We can do a little singing.
This article by
It's an interesting
Franklin Graham saying that the Supreme Court transgender ruling erodes religious freedoms across the country. So basically they're saying that fucking allowing trans people to have basic human rights, allowing them to have health care, adopt children, fucking work for the military is discrimination against religious folks, because
you are
allowing trans people to fucking exist is discrimination against religious folks.
You're discriminating against their right to mindlessly hate everybody that's not like them.
Exactly. So I called my mother out in the comments, and she deleted all of my comments. A scared little bitch. I'm sorry, Mom. You know what? No, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all.
Oh my God.
You're mad rude.
Does the Westboro Baptist Church thrive off of that explanation? Seriously. Like they live that oh no, you're encroaching upon my religious freedoms by doing this, that, or the other thing. By giving this person freedom, you're encroaching on my religious freedom. It's
Yep.
You're special.
Their existence means anything to you, has any impact on your life. So she sends me a message. She said, I'm entitled to my faith and my love for God. I'm not homophobic or transphobic, which means having intense fear of, nor do I hate anyone. Just because you think I should bow down to your demands does not mean I have to. I love Mel and accept her choices. Yes, I know that you and others call her him and Marcus. If she goes through reassignment surgery and legally changes her name, then I will call her him and call her Marcus. Until then, she is my daughter who I love completely. Just because I follow God's commandments does not mean I will never disrespect or be hateful towards anyone.
Wait.
This is also God's commandment. I love you completely too, as you are. No arguments, no objections. I simply love you. Mr. Graham's comments are based on a decision which will lead to discrimination towards any Bible-following organization, forcing them to violate their faith in God's commandments. I cannot support any decision which does that to any group of people, no matter who they are. Now you can talk.
I want to backtrack. First of all, I agree. Anal Bible-loving association. I like that. Just that trip of the tongue was perfect. Anal Bible-loving association. That being said,
I was going to go for anal Bible-thumping bullshit.
What you just read to me hurt me deeply. Oh my God. I am the loving father of a transgender male. Okay. I have not referred to him by his birth sex since he came out as transgender. The reason being, and he has not gone through gender assignment surgery, but this is how he feels. This is what he feels like inside. You don't need to go
through reassignment surgeries. Mind you, it's not just one surgery. It's multiple. Right. Do you know how long it takes to get that done? Do you know how many doctors you have to speak to even get considered for that kind of reassignment surgery? Like, it's not easy, and it's so fucking expensive, dude. Like, your fucking insurance isn't just going to cover it.
Most insurances actually do not cover it. You're actually paying almost all of that out of pocket because most insurances, thanks to a lot of government regulations, actually consider that cosmetic surgery and not medically necessary.
Exactly.
That being said, if you are of the kind of person that says until they get the gender reassignment surgery and change their name legally, then what you're doing right there is you are being hateful and disrespectful to that person's choice and how they feel. If you're not willing to love them for how they are right now, knowing that they may become something in the future, then you basically tell them you disapprove of who they are. I am going to disapprove of who you are until you change utterly and completely.
Exactly, and it's like, how can you do that to your own fucking child? Like, so my response was, your God's commandments literally speak against this kind of hatred. Religion has no place in politics, hence the separation of church and state. Or maybe you forgot about that. Discrimination against people who simply want to live freely as themselves is still discrimination. You say you're not homophobic or transphobic, yet you continue to share articles that say the complete opposite. No one is demanding anything of you. We want you to stop demanding that people be fired, denied health care, denied the ability to adopt children, simply because they wanted to love someone of the same sex, or because of what genitals they have. That we want you to stop demanding that people be fucking removed from the military for what kind of fucking genitals they have or how they choose to appear to the rest of the world. Like, it's disgusting, and your blatant disrespect of Marcus is nothing more than gross ignorance. So her response was, it's okay, Nikki. I realize that you don't understand me, and that's okay. I'm not worried about fitting in with your ideals, because I have my own. And I know you don't want to hear or understand where I stand on issues, so I won't try to explain them. Just know that I love you both. I accept that we are all different, and that's okay. Acceptance of the human being does not mean we have to agree on things. It simply means we can disagree and still love and respect each other. God loves you too, even more than I do. Hang on. I'm like, it's not a matter of I don't understand you. I do understand where you're coming from, and I'm telling you that you're deliberately being a bigot. You don't accept anyone that doesn't fit into your fake God's narrative. You're literally not accepting your own child because of a fucking book written by men that was diluted over thousands of years. Being accepting of people for who they are doesn't mean picking and choosing who's deserving of acceptance, especially when one of those people is someone you gave fucking birth to. This whole she's a she until she gets surgery is fucking disgusting. You know how hard it is to get reassignment surgery? Are you aware that your precious little president is trying to take away healthcare rights, adoption rights, the right to serve in the military away from trans people like your fucking son? Or how long it takes to legally change your name and gender, and how much money it fucking costs. Jesus Christ, woman, you're so ignorant and hypocritical, it makes me sick. And she didn't respond.
Oh my god. I'm first of all, if you read the first half of her speech and the second half of her speech, she contradicted herself. Basically, you can't say... And this is still coming from me being the father of a transgender male. You can't sit here... You
can't say, I accept everyone, while simultaneously not accepting your own fucking child for who they want to be.
Exactly. Saying that you're not going to stop calling your son a girl just because he doesn't currently have the genitalia that fits you into his box... You know,
oh, god damn it, now I feel like an asshole. Omar, I'm sorry for calling you an asshole and a bitch or whatever the fuck I said at the beginning of the podcast.
Oh, yep, I'm seeing that Omar just checked in.
He just explained why he's not on the cast, and now I'm a dick.
I'm sorry, guys, had to leave work early, and family emergency just now got back home. And
I'm sorry, Omar, I'm a dick.
I'm going to go ahead and text him that we're almost done anyway. He really doesn't need to check in tonight. Because we've done almost the entire podcast. Oh my god. Oh, the end of
God damn it, I'm an asshole.
The end of the podcast is literally the We're Sorry Omar apology tour. Oh my god.
I'm over here like, Omar, you fucking suck. You're not here on the cast like you said you were going to be. Meh. He had a family emergency. I'm such a douchebag.
Alright, I'm just telling him right now we are almost finished with a day. Your relative there, as far as I'm concerned, is the perfect depiction of the religious Karen. She really is. She is a religious Karen.
That's like, you're not wrong.
I am going to tell you all the ways that you are wrong about me while also confirming that you're absolutely right. And then... I'm going to sit here and brush off your opinions of me by telling you, don't worry, we have different opinions, and I love you, and Jesus loves you. Even though I don't follow your religion, honey. I can't. I spent too much time in Georgia, in the Bible Belt, to be able to take the religion seriously anymore, because I did for a while when I moved down there. I bounced from church to church trying to find a community, a place that was accepting. And you know, my oldest daughter had bisexual tendencies at one point, and my son obviously has always leaned one way. And so we were always trying to find a church that was sort of accepting of us. We were never really terribly religious, but as we went from church to church to church, we realized they're all preaching pretty much the same thing, various degrees of hate and disgust for each other, and none of the religions seem to like each other. So you've got the Baptists over here and the Catholics over here, and you've got the Orthodox Christians over here, and you got this section of the religion. There was oh god, they have.
And you know what's like really surprising about my mother being like so fucked up about my brother being trans is she's Baptist. She grew up Baptist. I grew up Baptist.
Oh, you know the big thing is I can't get behind a religion that sits here and spouts love when they all hate each other within the religion.
Dude, seriously.
Like the Baptists hate the Episcopalians, and
y'all follow the same God.
It's
the same fucking person.
And all the Christians hate the Catholics, and it's just...
Well, I mean, we've got reason to hate the Catholics.
I'm not saying you don't.
The Crusades, the fucking, the altar boys, the whole fucking shebang.
But when it comes right
the
down
corruption,
to it...
the conspiracies, the fucking secrets that they've been keeping about fucking world problems.
Christians are a country club society. It's all about how many people can we exclude. You have to fit into this box before we can allow you in.
You're so fucking right.
If you don't fit in the box, I'm sorry, no admission allowed. You don't get to live in our heaven. My apologies. They're all in hell in their little golf pants. You think the Christians...
Watch. All of the religions are going to be fucking wrong, and all of us following Cthulhu are going to be blessed in another.
When are the world's religions all going to realize that we're basically following the same religion? We've just decided to take our own little versions of it. Doesn't matter who you're talking about, whether you're talking about the Buddhists, whether you're talking about the Wiccans,
honestly,
people
I like Buddhism the best, to be honest.
But it's still based around a central god. Some of them have gods multiple. And when it comes right down to it, I think what it is we're all basically following the same thing. We're just kind of twisting it to our own needs and our own religious and political perspectives.
Exactly.
So I don't think when and if we end up, down, wherever, in the middle, I don't know what's going to happen after I die, personally. But I think when we go up there, we're all going to realize we were fucking wrong. And that we're all playing this little egotistical game like, this is my thing, and I'm right about my thing, and I don't like you for being against my thing.
I honestly don't believe there's an afterlife. I think we die, and then that's it. There's nothing.
I don't like to believe that.
And it's kind of morbid, but like, to be honest, there's really no point to all of this.
I think
Pineapple's going to be like a little disappointed in my outlook on the reality, because to me it just feels like there's really nothing beyond where we are right now. Like, there's no afterlife, there's no extra whatever after we're done with this life. I think that the neurons in our brain fire off and we see what we think the universe would be in our own mind. Like, we all have our own idea of what's out there in the universe, and I feel like that's what we would hallucinate just before our last breath, and then blackness.
Well, I want to say
I don't think the spirit goes anywhere.
I want to say that I don't necessarily believe that there's nothing beyond that, because I believe in spirits, ghosts, so on and so forth. I do. personally. I believe in hauntings, and there has to be some sort of beyond for me to have that kind of belief. Whether or not they happen to be stuck in limbo here, or whether this is sheer hell to begin with. Maybe that's what we're going through right now. Maybe this planet is our punishment for some damn dumb shit we did in a past life. That's what I'm feeling right now. But I have this weird perspective, and I'm gonna leave you with a little bit of this because it is an odd perspective, and some people have told me that I sound like a fucking lunatic. But here we go. I believe in sort of an infinite, expansive universe. I believe that we are part of another whole. Basically, we're living on a planet right here, and now the little I've actually read of scientific books, journals, so on and so forth, talking about atoms, electrons, neutrons, these little things that are spinning around in our body, making up what we are, the particles that we are. They look like planets, don't they? With their own little... They're little suns with their own little planets revolving around. That's what I think we are right now. I think we are literally sitting on a...
What, are we an atom on the flea of a dog in another universe that's a million, zillion times bigger than us?
And I think that it just expands outward like that. And I think the reason why we can't see the outer limits of the universe is because the outer limits, that's the outer limits of whatever that particular being happens to be. And you keep expanding outward.
I mean, the further you expand, the more dimensions you find.
Exactly. So that's what I believe, though. I just think it's sort of an infinitely expanding universe, and we are just one itty bit. Hell, we as humans may be the cancer on this little atom that's currently spinning around in this.
Another reason why I feel like all of this is just insignificant and meaningless.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we're meaningless. At the very least, when we die, I'd prefer if it wasn't for the funeral industry. Personally, I would prefer to just be buried. Take my body, drop me in a hole. Period. I don't need to be in a box. You don't need to put me in a coffin. You don't need to sell my family a coffin because government laws currently demand that you do so. That is the proper disposal of a body. No, fucking throw me in a hole. The proper disposal of a body is for us to go back to the earth that we came from.
I want to be cremated and planted in a forest with trees. Build a little gazebo on top of me.
I want to be cremated. And I can't remember the comedian that said this, but I loved his idea. Loved it so much that I plan on doing. I'm building a list right now of people that I do not like at all. I think I've told you this.
I believe so.
Just a list of people that have just rubbed me the wrong way. And mind you, I'm a guy that likes people. So if you have rubbed me the wrong way, you've done something extra special. Okay, because I'm a very forgiving guy. There's a guy, Alan. Oh, if I can find that guy, he is on my fucking list. But, Alan, you heard me. You don't show up at my funeral because you're not going to like it. So what I want to do is I want to invite a bunch of people under the guise of it being a big contest where they've won some money. Something to that nature. And gather these fucking people together. And I want to have this whole smorgasbord. You know, it's going to be all sorts of breakfast. It's a breakfast thing. So they're going to have pancakes. They're going to have eggs, bacon, everything. Anything that you'd want for breakfast, it's there. Okay? And in the back is going to be my urn. And somebody's going to make a big vat of coffee. And into that coffee, they're going to pour me. And then everybody gets to drink the coffee, filtered me through coffee. And after everything's done during the announcement where they're supposed to hear who wins the prize, basically they're going to announce that you've been drinking me for the past hour and a half.
I'm so glad I don't drink coffee.
Well, I don't dislike you, though. So, you're good.
You never know.
You don't piss me off. There's some people that piss me off. I like your opinions, honestly. You know, that's why I'm doing this podcast. That's why I was very insistent that you get to do your own thing, because I love your opinions and I love your attitude.
Love you too.
Take your podcast back from me. I just wanted to
But
talk
yeah,
about
anyway,
feeding.
sorry, I was drinking some water. You're good, man. Fucking, I don't know. It feels like we're about to wrap up.
Yeah, I'm getting on that
close to
feeling
that
too.
time.
Sorry about the dead air moment for a minute there, but I had to take a deep breath because I was like, yeah. We
Yeah.
I think we
We've
got
pretty much strayed away from all our topics.
You know, though, that doesn't matter whether or not we're doing this or the other podcasts. I think that that's kind of our format where it's very open and we just get to talk.
Yeah.
And we have a new listener, and I got to find her name because I wanted to mention her on the podcast. She's listening to both of our podcasts now. Got to find my little friend. I've only got a nickname for her, unfortunately. Where did you go? I just told her to come find us and listen to our podcasts. She is buried. I don't know where you are. Fuck. I'm going to have to bring her up on the podcast this weekend because I'm going to just be sitting here forever trying to find this girl. But I ran into a game that I've been enjoying playing a little bit lately, and I've been talking up our podcast on it. So every chance that I get, I tell people the name of our podcast, and I'm like, "Oh, we're going to listen." This high schooler from New Zealand was like, "Oh, okay, I'm really into film and this, that, and the other thing." And I said, "Yeah, we talk about how much the American government basically fucking sucks." She goes, "Oh, I'm into telling you guys your government sucks too." You know? So even New Zealand's like down with Trump, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, no, I am very much interested in getting our word out there and getting people to listen to you, and eventually we're going to get to pair you off to do your own thing so you're not buried underneath our cinematic anarchy heading. But I think it's gonna have to wait till we're all back in the same house again, or that Winnebago that I plan on buying.
Yeah, but shout out to all the new listeners. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening tonight. This was interesting, to say the least.
Well, we kept the conversation
Shout out to Omar.
flowing.
I hope everything is okay over there.
We're sorry you don't suck.
I'm sorry.
We're
I'm
sorry.
an asshole.
We called you out like we call out Seth. Seth's still not here. You suck, Seth.
Seriously, Seth, you have no excuse. You fucking get the fuck out of here.
He works.
No, wait, don't get the fuck out of here. Just
We want you back.
stop ghosting us, you bitch.
He works right down the street from me. He could take a 10-minute walk and be here, but no.
You don't even need to take the 10-minute walk. Just join the call.
Oh, he doesn't. I talked to him. He doesn't do that. He's too good for video calls.
Well, Princess Diana, fucking thanks so much.
His phone sucks anyway, so I don't blame him. We probably wouldn't have been able to hear him.
Yeah, get him a good pair of headphones.
Right? Help us earn some money. Go buy a new phone.
Right?
Right. Okay. We'll sign off now.
Anywho, I was going to say anywho, and it tripped over as anyway, and it's
Anywho.
Anywho. I need a drink. Thanks, guys, for listening. I love you guys. Take care.
Bye.
Have a good one. Au revoir.
Up in the sky, so keep it real, yeah. You said I was free to leave, knew I was gonna stay. I'm a honeybee kind, always in the front view, never looking behind. Always in the present moment, never have to rewind. Always chilling while we sit back and recline like a honeybee kind. Yeah, I said honeybee kind, yeah. Cause I came back when you told me to go away and you said I was free to leave, but you knew I was gonna stay. You had me burning for